I don't know what's up with this. Shore's being rude though. I think now we're live. Alright. As is Twitch tradition, you do have to leave it going for a few minutes. I get the drum rolling here, and the ball rolling, and all the hype, or whatever. I'm not entirely sure how this is going to go, simply because my wakefulness was draining earlier. I did nap, so that's kind of why I started a little later. But this is very important to me, obviously. I don't want to go without making something of this. Because it's kind of either just now or never with how my schedule is working out. Things are just rather intense with my job and the yeah. I'm gonna be right back. Clean these glasses. Okay, it does seem that I am actually, factually, successfully live. So that's a good start. I'm gonna get rid of my jacket, turns out. It's kinda... the arm space clumsy. Oh, cool. Oh, I have fucking paper towels right here. I could have just used those. Well, alright. I can still use them. A lot of excess filth on these fucking things. I think this will have to do. Exit those for now. And double check. Yo, I stopped it just at the right time. Gotta get our save files to reflect the sick new date. I am gonna be I don't know, I feel like my energy is gonna be a bit weird because you know, it is late and I do have to be quiet, but it is pretty... But I am definitely endearingly hyped till the end. Of course, you can't copy a save file, so... We'll just have to try and, I guess, never use that or something. Oh, wow. Excuse me. Alright. I'm wondering if I should at people again. Yeah. You know what? Let's just, like... I don't know. I feel like I could wait a little bit, you know, just do a run. Just a chill run to see where the game is. How far we've come. And just kind of chat, I suppose. Man. So, I don't have exact points in which I started looking at speedrunning this game, but I know it was a little bit before I joined Twitch in 2016, and a little bit before I made a post. Holy shit. To speedrun.com presenting my findings for New Game Plus. And I guess what I remember from that introduction was just really surprising and bringing intrigue, hope to people. You know, Eternal Night and Legend of Spyro in general was always just this dumb little comfort game I used to play. I liked to fling enemies around and just make funny graphics appear. Kill everything with fall damage, or have as much explosions as possible in the beginning. And initially, I found Eternal Night to be quite laughable. Between its somewhat disjointed story,
Cinder, what are you doing out here?
its less spammable moveset and more demanding combat, I went into the project thinking, you know, oh, I had essentially just done it because I wanted to speedrun, and I thought that
How did that happen?
because of just a few little things that there was a lot of potential laden within the game, and that I could make something of it, since I kinda felt a little bit, almost cheated by Eternal Night in my initial playthroughs, because I found it so just damning and
Clear your mind, Spyro.
like just arbitrarily felt like a much different game to me than its predecessor. So, you know, from the surface of it, it's like, well, this wasn't my expectations, and I didn't really gel with it as a result, so it must be bad or whatever. So, you know, I completely get that. But then, you know, it started to become I essentially unearthed a different game in it with Dark Spyro. It was weird because I went through phases of, you know, feeling like the most powerful being, you know, in the world, being able to just kinda float around places and, you know, view the game almost with the kind of point of view only a developer would get to see. And it really fascinated me that it was something that was just kind of sitting there and readily available. It kind of became like, even though I was intensely powerful... Oh, thank you, Flame. Yeah, the split names are pretty memey. Also, welcome in tonight. Gonna just kind of be, doing a little bit of 90% and then showing off a nifty, potentially game-breaking thing came up recently. I'm guessing you're, already kind of got that info, though. But I was in the middle of just kind of talking about, you know, my whole journey with this game. Where was I? Oh yeah, so, you know, initially it was, like, kinda just like... I always was a glitch hunter. I liked to indulge in those things because I found them to be both fun and fascinating. I famously, another thing I used to do was, early on when Super Mario Galaxy 2 released, I had actually, like, tried to master infinite flutter jumping, and just, like, being able to appreciate everything that there is within a game, whether you're intended to see it or not. And while a lot of it was funny, there was also a lot of mystique, I would say, coming from that activity. You know, at first it was just kind of like spatial awareness of, the levels. But, you know, then I would run into funky things out of bounds that I couldn't explain, and some of which I still don't really know what's going on, and eventually I had realized that I could turn it into a goal. Like, it was the first instance where I realized I was truly exploring something that no one else had touched. And I just really got down with, you know, personally exploring and, kind of putting context on all of the absurd shit that you can do. And, you know, I'd periodically find... Okay, nice, he actually aggroed me. I'd periodically find, you know, find little loopholes through the walls, or like think how I might... Okay. I might cut a pathway down or utilize a great bit of new height gain. And I'd share it with my best friend, and really it was just kind of a personal project for a time. Thank you, Dismay. And so, you know, I toyed around, and progressively, I think I had like 1 hour or 15 or something like that. It was one of the earliest runs. I only had like a couple of the most obvious skips.
Hey, look at this.
And a few smaller little like corner cuts. Oh, sick. I'm glad you made that there's big things going on in other speed games. Never a bad thing. Anyway, sorry, I'm just kind of storytelling for myself.
Oh, didn't see that coming.
Oh, shoot. Oh, that's big, man. Being able to, okay. Well, I missed the crystal, but... Alright, that's very weird. Can I... Oh my god, this is dumb. Why? Okay, whatever. Yeah, that really does, usually mean quite a bit. Yeah, exactly. Like, it just opens the boundaries that much. And as far as, the games, yeah, I picked up A New Beginning, when it released, and I had helped, and it was like a mainstay of my library. It was my guilty pleasure thing, where typically I had to be like heftily, mindfully involved in the game to enjoy it. I think I just kind of have a hyperactive mind. But then, you know, a couple of years later, I helped a friend through the game. I had gotten incredibly stuck on the final segments, and I remember it being one of the first times I swore at a game. Because Gaul, we were just trying to tick away at that for a good couple hours. Understand, you know, that this person brought the game to my house. We had both played A New Beginning together prior. So, like, you know, we had that kind of emotional tie to see where it would go. And it wasn't until like even a few years after that that I managed to get my own copy, and I played it again to you know, get a full view on it all. Yeah. So anyway, you know, I picked up the speedrunning thing, and eventually, see, I was always under the impression that, like, I have to make this look, you know, good enough to present. And so, you know, I had gotten... Oh, thanks, Traffics. Glad to have you here, by the way. Because to me, speedrunning was something that was always very serious and endearing to me. Speedrunning gave me a hell of a lot of entertainment in years prior, and I looked very highly up to the likes of Narcissa Wright, who had essentially given me a lot of interest in another game that otherwise I respected and appreciated, but came to be enamored by in a much different manner. She had done that several times over, in fact. And, you know, I realized I could do that with Eternal Night. The passion project turned into something that I wanted to bring forth to the world. So I made a lengthy post describing everything thus far, after I had seen someone else had posted an any percent run, which was not all too elaborate, but they had some decent understanding of at least like resource management type things in that game. And, you know, I contacted them, and eventually I put that up. And it was a crowning jewel for me at the time, because a lot of the interests I had were starting to fade away or just become less accessible as high school began to kick my ass. And, you know, I'd started losing faith in the world. My family situation got incredibly dicey. All sorts of dumb shit happened. But Eternal Night was still... I was constantly able to find new and intriguing things with it. I spent many nights, you know, up for multiple hours at a time. You know, even though I'd have school the next day, because it just fascinated me that much, and I was that dedicated. You know, and I was very grateful to be able to get things out. I tried to name and document everything, and it all was in the name of, you know, both my own exploratory enjoyment, of course, but also the idea that I would be shedding light towards something just oddly, you know, unique and entertaining. It's very much something, even within speedrunning, I don't think there's any game that quite feels and looks like this one does. And so, you know, many optimizations came and gone, where, you know, preconceived notions would be thwarted. things I would spend oh nice. Spend quite a long time theorizing about finally being proven, and that all was exciting to me. Unfortunately, you know, there were some bumps where... Oh yeah, Comet Dash fucking makes this game, man. Honestly, it's so interesting how that ended up coming to be, because I really thought any percent would be a meme. Because to me, it was like, oh, speedrunning was just about, like, making the game broken. And in a way, that's true. You know, you try to press its boundaries the most that you can. But I realized, you know, after delving in, like, oh, hey, this is somewhat faster. Than running movement, but it also takes a chunk of magic. But it also can, like, cross significant gaps, and, you know, you can measure... You can do shorter single jumps or midways with double jumps and chain it with other moves. And, like, of course, the committal element of it. And just seeing that flow come about after having... Because I had done New Game Plus for a few years. Sorry, this is kind of all over the place now. I'm just really wistful tonight, and I hope you'll allow me to indulge in that feeling. Okay, there we go. Also, yeah, I'll check that out later tonight, Dismay. And welcome, Pirate Titan. We'll be running into quite a few of those later in the run, you could say. Oh, shit. But anyways, there was a period of time where, you know, I tried then to get the games to be more accessible. I had people who were running the other games in my chat at the time, and we would kind of, like, go back and forth about, like, what something might mean. Because, see, the thing with NG Plus is that, like, that game, it's practically limitless. Like, there's just enough things to keep you from just, like, pressing a button and winning the game. But you still have, like, so many options for approach that it's just unreal. Oh man. Unfortunately, those people are no longer with us for the most part, as they've parted ways of the internet. And when I had made efforts to reach out to the mod teams, I had gotten radio static, and eventually I even got runs rejected without any reason noted, even though seemingly my video was no different than ones that I had done before. And with that and the escalating aspects of my home and school life, I wouldn't say I lost interest, but I definitely took a big hit to my morale.
Do not let your fire control you.
But nonetheless, you know, I loved the game, and so I continued on my own and just tried to share it in the ways I could on Twitch. I did run in with several other speed games, and I would periodically run this, and, you know, that also led to eventually doing any percent, since NG Plus, and sometimes it can get a little bit stale with how grindy some of the tricks became to, like, because you have to mash a lot, climb up various walls. And through that, you know, I realized a lot more of the utility and balance present within all the elements and their moves. And like I was saying about Comet Dash earlier, like, kind of the influence that, you know, one particular move on a moveset can have, and the combining of platforming and combat, how much better I think the game may be received if it was tutorialized a bit better, or if the level design, you know, involved you making use of these secondary traits, you know, these elemental melee attacks that the game boasts, you know, on its promotional stuff. And, you know, I got to a point where I legitimately appreciated the game as it was, and I never really thought that I would get to a point where, you know, I have other people that share in that feeling as much as I did that many years ago. I did have one fellow that I ended up really capturing his imagination during the earlier years of this, and that person took a big shining to me, and we went on to essentially found another speed game that has also taken off. There was a little bit of a bittersweet feeling in the fact that that one got popularity and Eternal Night didn't, but you know, I felt confident in my skills and tastes and presentation at that point. And all this time later, he is now my roommate. I would not have had the capacity to get out, you know, from a pretty substantially abusive household without, you know, having impressed upon someone with this. And it fits, you know, with the motifs of broken soul and everything. And I don't know, maybe I've had little rants before. Oh true, the choir pirates are coming up. I've had little rants before about, you know, the connective tissue there. But, you know, in any event, even though I had so many run-ins with gatekeeping and a bunch of periods of time where things were a bit dried up, perhaps, I still... I've held so many different forms of appreciation for... Whoopsie. Ooh, okay, we have an opportunity here to do a really jank skip. Yes! Oh my god! So I don't know what allows you to skip the cutscene there, but that leaves the boat there, and it means you can do this. Holy crap, I've never gotten this in a run. And that was something else I wanted to show off this stream, was like, how even with, like, as skilled as I've gotten at this game, there's so much that is still untapped, and I can't believe it. And, you know, it makes me that much more eager to be able to, you know, share with other people and help them kind of grow that appreciation and, you know, have their own kind of climb. Because it really seems like yeah, we really did just take the back streets there. Oops. But yeah, through, you know, just seeing all the little mechanics and their quirks and, you know, the feelings of satisfaction involved with every new thing you pick up, like, it's incredible. And especially after, you know, having my run-in with Graphics, who is apparently someone very new to speedrunning, never, you know, had any experience much in that sense. He's got the same kind of fire in his belly, both that Spyro and I do, for this, and it just really makes me, like, so ecstatic, because I really thought with how kind of locked down the whole leaderboard situation had been with Legend of Spyro before. Oh man, yeah, there's quite a bit of cheeky hiding spots for 100%. I actually have not 100%ed this either. I've been saving it for specific goals in mind. Here, let's yep, get that cycle, the dragon time. Like, it's, man, I was just gonna go on the rant again about how much having, like, dragon time influences this game and everything. And, you know, my opinion is basically flip-flopped, man. Like, A New Beginning was my babe. Anyways, it is with great pride, even if, you know, it takes several years. Just the fact that, you know, it's happening and I get to do it, and that, you know, I'm seeing within the last several months, you know, I kind of just had that Discord in my back pocket for several years with the hopes that I, you know, could form it and catch, you know, a couple people. But it really is, like, a decent sizable base now. Obviously, it still needs a lot of work. And, you know, I know a lot of people are there for games other than Eternal Night, and that's fair. You know, I have a lot of fun with all of the titles, really. But, like, just that there's any sense of mutuality in that again, and that I feel, okay, shit, in control of my own, you know, destiny and everything. Can we one-cycle it? Probably not. No, I missed. Damn. Yeah, exactly. Like, certain things just call to you like that. Yeah, I threw for content there. Can Scab or Arbrick, bro? Both are quite as knocks. Yeah, the game definitely plays a lot differently in, like, it's kind of like opening your third eye, in a way. But like, I just want to reiterate that I cannot be more proud, I think, and just ecstatic, actually having the opportunity to, you know, share these feelings with other people. You know, I've always had myself and my roommate and everything, but like, the idea that multiple other people like came to me expressing an already willingness to work towards this trilogy, you know, it really touches my heart in a weird way, because, you know, it's something I always wanted to believe in. It's something that always you know, I had gone through so many different points where, you know, I essentially was convinced that no one did care, and that, you know, it would always be something in the shadows, that I, you know, should stop working on the game, either because of that or so that later on people could, you know, actually, you know, enjoy the game's progression alongside me. But now, you know, the game's destinies are intertwined. I had a shit ton of fun rediscovering and adding to the knowledge base of Dawn, which was previously, you know, the most played and most run game.
Be steady.
And it's so surreal because, you know, I had looked up to the likes of Kasumi and Borderlander 15 especially,
Power of Earth
and I never anticipated being anywhere near this type of position. Okay, thank God. I hate the sound glitch here. Oh my God, there's also like a whole potential elemental reroute in lieu for any percent. Ice may be more spammable, actually, because of a pause glitch that allows you to shoot a bomb without using any mana or magic. It's a little bittersweet, because there's always been this feeling to me that, you know, the potential was known and is there. There are people like asking about playing the games on speedrun.com that went unanswered, and, you know, I wish that something could have been done sooner to help hone those people. It's, you know, I can't help but feel a little bit sour and like shame for that. It had nothing to do with me, of course. Ah, shit. Sometimes you can catch the edge of that spinning and save you a cycle. But yeah, as Skunk Fairy had said, it is impeccably refreshing. And I know I've kind of just been talking through, you know, just myself and shit for the last 30 minutes, so, you know, thank you guys, of course, for listening to that as well. All that I really want to achieve and have wanted to achieve with this whole Discord thing is just to give people the proper chance to just do what they want. People have wanted to speedrun these games and just mess around with them, and yet, you know, there hasn't been a proper starting point. There hasn't been a path for people to follow. And through my experience with other speed games, I know how frustrating that can feel. Because, I mean, essentially, you're there and ready and willing. It's just that, you know, nothing else will cooperate with you, and information is just scattered. So it can feel like a lot of aimlessness and brute forcing. Can feel very alone, I guess, in that situation. That's also why, you know, I'm trying to... I've gone and tried to pick up and learn these other games, as well as, you know, try and orient. I mean, you know, I've only really gotten to finish the A New Beginning boards, but we have systems in place for how the other two will look. Damn, easy. Ravage Rider, I barely know her. This is one of the bosses that, honestly, I think this is the boss that messed me up the most in this game, besides Arbrick, and perhaps also Gull. But Gull was much more telegraphed, I think, with its attacks. Yeah, bro. These bosses can go hard if you're unprepared or don't realize what the game is wanting you to do. There's a lot of things, I think, people don't realize how integral Dragon Time actually is to this game's design. And it's a shame because, like, they don't really express it, like, mid-game. Like, you just kind of have to either there are some things, like, I think the charging, boars work pretty decently to, you know, you have the sound cue, and it's like, oh. But even with that, I don't know that people pick up on it. Especially, like, coming off of something that is as... like, where the input is as simple as it is in A New Beginning. Like, not necessarily as, like, a bad thing, but, you know, you just have your breath, and you have some kind of projectile. You know, these moves require a good bit more, you know, pre-thought and placement, and it's not nearly as immediately intuitive, is how I would put it. And, you know, you add these other aspects like Dragon Time, and it just serves to perplex players. I mean, I will say I prefer the dreams over the temple any day, but there's just, you know, extra expectations, perhaps, is the word. Recede. Why is the shit? Oh yeah, Dawn definitely will turn some heads. And it is really stupid that it's taken this long. But for one reason or another, I fucking managed to gather so many people together, and we're just like poised and ready. Also, I should not have gone for... I thought I could do a very cheeky extended glide. But no. Rod breaker. Ouch. This inanimate carbon rod. These are also a little scary. Ah. Hello? Okay, I wasn't taking my melee input for a moment. Yeah. I mean, I do kind of appreciate them showing a bit of, like, you know, everything you can do, but, you know, they do it with such specifics and, you know, in such long-winded scripted segments that it just kinda drags on too much. Hee hee hee. Yeah, TLOS in general is making a pretty substantial comeback. You know, I've seen several Discords popping up. I mean, it's right in that, you know, that sweet spot, I think, where everyone's starting to, like, really get their nostalgia for it. So, you know, perhaps... Oh wait, do I have enough to Comet Dash? This could be a troublesome scenario. Yeah. We're still okay. We're still in it. Just a little awkward. I love this shit, man. That little ledge on the top of the door frame. Being able to use that. Oh my god. Like, it's really impressive to me how many things have worked out for the better of this route. And I can't wait to emphasize that all upon people. Yeah, it honestly used to be even a bit harder, but maybe a little bit cooler. 'Cause we didn't have the triple jump thing before. Oh, nice. He got screwed by the cannon. So there were some, like, sort of like ledges off of props that you would use along the side there. Where? There's the last lad. Okay. Well, got the long death animation. Oh yeah. Yeah, the pirate dudes, honestly, these feel so satisfying, being able to crowd control to the extent that you can. Comet Dash, Ice Ball, it all fucking slaps. That's the thing, I feel like they built, oh, this is really cool. It actually could be a little bit of a hint for, the new tech. Okay, no, it didn't happen. But if you interrupt the slow-mo finisher with the Comet Dash at the right time, you actually, like, get what I call a turbo glide, where the momentum of Spyro rearing up flings you forward, and your Comet Dash goes like 3 times the distance or so. But yeah, Spyro feels like he's tuned to, like, be incredibly oppressive in 1v1, but that, you know, in groups, then you kind of have to do this little dance, to kind of prioritize things proper. And of course, having, like, I feel like having... See, people, you know, say about getting stuck and comboed in this game, and I will admit, you know, hit stun is pretty hefty in an egregious way. But you have Dragon Time, and you have these burst movement options, but people don't... You know, it's fair that people don't realize their burst movement options. Alright, now we gotta bait all these guys down into the corner. So that we can Fury everything to death, hopefully? Question mark. Looks like there might be a few stragglers. But I'll just probably pick them up, because I don't want to wait too long. It's kind of crazy that Fury is only optimal, like, maybe 2 times in the run. Yep, everything but these 2 guys, just as I said. Oh. Perfect. And just like that, one of the hardest rooms cleared. Oh yeah, another possible unused skip is hitting... There's a cutscene trigger down here to Scab's room. Like, so long as you could hit that and have the room loaded, you could just go to the boss, which is what happens with New Game Plus. Maybe I could do a run of that if y'all are interested, but I also don't want to keep the, oh shit, I think I'm a split or 2 behind. Whoa. I'm gonna... whatever, I just have to keep mashing. And then I'm probably gonna... Oh, okay, I still had enough magic. Often... Oh, shit, I'm dropping frames. Often, you'll need to land and then do... Essentially, you would chain air melees to ground melees because his hitbox pushes you downwards because of its hourglass shape. And just like Spyro, you know, colliding with it, you can do air melee attacks into... ground melee attacks continually. They'll keep interrupting each other because you can essentially buffer them. And yeah, NG Plus is easily like the most transformative and much more accessible category. It doesn't involve, you know, extreme input. Like there's quite a few like inputs per minute and clawing going on. Like even just like to glide there, like I had my thumb on X and then was like turning my finger over to I'm gonna do the easier version of this. Okay. I don't know why I'm having trouble standing on this, but I find it easier to do anything else. But yeah, New Game Plus, just with all the movement that you do have, it is more forgiving and I think more immediately like empowering or whatever. I wasn't sure that I actually landed on that spoke, but I did it. Man. Yeah, someone was asking like, oh, can't wait for you to reset at Pirates, but it's not because of like the extensive combat arenas, it's because... Oh, okay, I still got it. There's a cutscene trigger there that thankfully brings you in. That was probably the earliest that could have been done. Also, I have a lot of extra magic right now. Oh, and I don't have to, trigger the enemy spawn, it turns out. I realized this is a thing you could do last night. It's so neat. Every time I touch the game... Well, not every time, but like... It's really never over. And I think with this new find, and I know I keep, like, teasing it, I honestly expected to just, like... cut the run, like, by Ancient Grove, but then I got that fucking... That fucking Choir Pirates skip. I should be on shitty ships, too. But I can't look at my splits right now.
Check this out.
Oh, I'd meant to explain what NG Plus is in regards to this game. Essentially, the way it works is, well, you have access to Dark Spyro, and there's a glitch with Dark Spyro that allows you to perpetually charge forward in the air without losing very much height. Oh man, this sucks. Recycle. I didn't read his, man, that's a much larger curve than I remembered. But yeah, it kinda becomes a challenge of just, like, figuring out how to get to the end level trigger as soon as possible. Okay, I can still do that. That'll be okay. Bonks can hurt. I do kinda ache over the fact that, like, some of the history, or at least the specifics of it, have been lost. But ultimately... Oh, okay. That's nifty. Gotta focus on this one. You have to follow a certain path here that it matches the path that the little passenger boat takes over to this ship. Hopefully that went far enough. Yep.
Onwards to battle.
That's so nice too, because the crumbling ship is a pretty rough fight. It's how erratically everything jumps around. Yeah, fuck up the cutscene. Get a little bit of chip damage on him. Up, come on, get in there. Wow. Yeah. Really had to get the mashing down pretty good to not get hit there. I kind of miss when I had to do more elaborate 0 to deaths. Where you would spin around and really have to balance both your positioning and damage.
Surrender to its erratic nature.
And have to mix in Dragon Time to avoid leaving Spyro prone for too long.
This power is accentuated by your...
Yep, it happened. So, I really should have waited to upgrade. I don't know why this is such a common thing, but for whatever reason, there is a glitch that just kinda, like, kills a lot of the sound channels. That's gonna make, this a little rough. But we're okay. Honestly, it's probably for the best that Scab, we don't have to deal with Scab much more, like... Same with, oh wait. Same with, Pink in the Beast? Bro. There's some sexual innuendo there, I'm sure. I don't know. But yeah, just certain sound channels stop. Also, yeah, lightning jump is a thing. I... can't go a few runs without at least finding one nice one. Am I going to go for... I might as well. Actually, no, I've already spent this much time to get it. I will go for the, absurd, out of bounds, in Mountain Fortress. That lightning jump actually is like the only other tech that I knew, and I came across it by accident when I went to start speedrunning this game. Hopefully the game doesn't crash here. It crashed. Yep. Because it can't load shit proper. Damn. Well, at least we get to talk about the names and shit, right? Yeah, I was on decent pace, actually. They absolutely had a lot of quirky fun. You know, just throwing in all that little flavor. That's really nice, though, that, yeah. That just kind of happens, unfortunately, if audio shit comes up. Sometimes it's not able to load certain cutscenes, and yeah. I'd only seen that happen occasionally, but it's been happening very frequently with my copy lately. So I don't know. That's unfortunate, because Endgame has so much with the lightning jump in. That thing's fun as fuck. Being able to, you know, lift yourself up so many stories, and then, you know, even being actionable from there. Like, obviously, height plus dragon that can glide just, like, works so well. Of course, it requires an enemy, and you need to, like, time it so that Spyro is still locked onto them in a combo. It's really jank, but really cool. Anyway. I'm going to load this, and finally, thanks for everyone who stuck around this long, demonstrate the new tech discovered.
Spyro.
I hope that was a decent crash course in some of the fun to be had in runs, though. Alright. So, I want to preface this by saying that really, the majority, like, the discovery, or at least making this shit viable, or like seeing how best to make the most of this odd interaction in the game, did not come from me. It was plopped kind of out of the blue by Graphics, and you know, he kind of just dropped it in a different server, and we've been having a bit of a back and forth about it, trying to figure out, because it is a very feisty and very nuanced type of movement tech, and it actually stems from something that I had a lead on several years ago. There are a few very small videos of it occurring. It came up more so for the possibilities in A New Beginning, because that game had zero movement tech, until I incidentally discovered the triple jump. Oh, I'm about to show your discovery, and was just, or at least, like, you know what I mean. We're talking about slide slipping, or super slipping. So, Spyro, as we know with the Chrome games, interacts very oddly with slippery slopes. You know, they'll try to, like, push them off rather quickly, or if you're stuck on them for too long, you know, you might start seeing him really fall back, or he'll just, you know, do one of those. Even if you were, like, ran on them and whatever, like, they're just, like, so untouchable, practically, that, you know, it was just completely uncontrollable. Yeah, I will be posting those clips in my Discord. But, you know, just funky interaction. There were a few clips where people had managed to find, you know, one or two pockets where you could, like, stay on this for a little bit, right? And then, you know, you might have a little bit of a extra bit of slide forward or so when you hit the ground. One of which even, yeah. There was one even where someone got an enemy positioned very funky. Actually, I think that's technically a different thing, but someone had claimed to have they came to me in DMs and said that they claimed to have gotten stuck on a mushroom or something in A New Beginning, and eventually it having forced them out of bounds, but it had never been recreated. All of this comes to say that while the kind of, like, weird speed building element was evident, there wasn't a way to make use of it in any useful way, and nearly to this degree. So as it turns out, we finally have a use for walking, of all things, this game. So right now, I don't know exactly what it is. If maybe, like, the slower progression is, like, it interacts with speed differently, or the, or it, like, just isn't enough to, severely, you know, get Spyro thrown off. You know, because run speed is pretty decently fast. Right now, I'm kind of on this front ledge, but I'm actually slipping between these two mushrooms is what I've found to be most consistent for this. And, you know, if at any point I were to let go, I would likely just kind of get knocked back as you normally would, but I am just kind of like walking and preventing it from shooting me off of the mushrooms while still being on that. Now, this would theoretically go for any kind of surface with a slope. Kind of like how you can actually jump off of sloped surfaces with the electric vortex. So very funky because there haven't been too many techs. Here we go! Oh! Oh my god. The fucking jet, bro. Oh my god. You'd actually think, like, it's an air show. And only now are we starting to lose our speed from that there and start going down. So, what this means is that now, a new beginning and Eternal Night both have momentum storage tech now. Now, it's very finicky, as you can see there, because, you know, if you collide with anything, or, like, you know, there's massive implications whenever your angle changes at all, and it could happen just, like, hitting off the edge of the mushroom, or whatever you're using. And you have to have something with a slippery slope that you can stay on for a decent time. Different, as it turns out, I haven't had any success with it, but Graphics has gone and done a few launches using these mushroom trees, actually, and they don't have quite the same stability, but with them being larger objects that taper off more, they seem to build speed much more quickly. Yeah, exactly. Time spent. There is another potential use I saw in the Grove Pirates. It's kind of weird because a lot of the stuff would be out of bounds oriented. Right now, I'm thinking of trying and essentially replicating some New Game Plus type skips in any percent. So as you saw there, I mean, I was able to shoot all the way out of bounds. And thankfully, because of, like, these walls surrounding here and everything, I was able to angle it fairly decently, you know, forward left. So out there is actually where the end level platform is, and what we fly to in New Game Plus. It is critical to note as well that you can actually cut your speed using Horn Dive, using you can redirect it a bit with the air attack, Comet Dash. Like, you are actionable out of this. So even if you overshoot, you know, you can pivot and catch shit with that. Theoretically, it's a little weird, you know, because slippery slopes exist. This, like, changed how I looked at the game, like, forever, right? Because Like, think of all the stupid little pieces of debris that exist in the Chrome games. Those are now potential vehicles. And, you know, like this wall, if you build up speed and, like, kinda, like, collide with it in a decent enough way, you can actually convert the momentum upwards a little bit. Now I know that took, like, a little bit of time to build this up, but compare that to going around, doing the dream, everything. Yeah, here, I will, show you where... So here's what I'm thinking, essentially. So I typically get here by... It's a decent bit leftward of this smaller moon. I have to kinda mash a little bit to get there, but it is back here. There's a funky invisible wall. Yeah, the wall one is pretty consistent as well. Although, I had trouble directing it. Like, I got decent speed, but then I'd just kinda slap one of the walls. So the reason I mentioned it as a task thing is because if you are able to counteract the game trying to push you away consistently... Okay. Spyro does remember how to fly. Yeah, this is honestly the closest thing to free flight in any Spyro game. No cap. Just the Dark Spyro being able to climb slopes as well, like... Things just really worked out for this game speedrun-wise. But anyways, it's kinda back left, and, you know, kinda mirroring the temple there. Quite a bit of ways off. This whole, like, backside here, though, is a bit of an invisible wall. So you do have to angle it kind of funky. Yeah, I meant to pull up... I have a recording where I think I slipped past it. I'm pretty sure that, like, with a specific enough angle, and, like, it's weird because, you know, with each object you kind of have to approach it a bit differently, both because of, like, the pocket, depending on, like, what part is pushing you, you know, controls the angle for your release. You know, just getting everything right. But I thought I had caught a glimpse of it during one of my more extreme things. Yes, so if this were to come to pass, then it's possible that, I mean, essentially you can complete this level without ever getting fire. And even though there is an elemental trial, there are elemental dream skips in New Game Plus, the possibility of that existing in any percent, of course, has been nil, especially like something as integral as fire, you know, that...
What you mean? Spyro.
No? I already forgot what I had said that... I forgot what I was saying. Anyway, Point is, we'll see the reason fire had been useful in any percent, as we were just seeing, was for the comet dash, but like nonetheless, the whoa, that built up so fast. So I think like if you can get from like the tippy top probably has the most push, right? But anyway, this provides so much possibilities and questions. Tasks included, since they'd have so much more control and like I think the ability to get speed, like read the speed directly, like in value. Oh, I don't know. I stood on a particular part of the mushrooms and it's built speed a lot more quickly. What's nice about these mushrooms is that you can essentially build speed forever. I mean, it does eventually kick you out. Like, eventually you'll get so much speed that it forces you away. Other objects, as you have seen, have a smaller cap in that sense. And it may be harder to oscillate on them. But it's all, you know, it all provides something. Okay. That one had its direction altered and depleted a hint. Depleted the speed. It does seem like with colliding with certain ledges and stuff you can get screwed. There we go. Actually, no, I needed to be a little bit further forward. There we go. Need to be patient and everything, too. I don't know that you can jump with these or anything. Ah, shit. And sometimes you don't have... What's weird with this is that with the ledge in front, you can't get yourself out too well. So, what we've come to name this glitch is super slipping, affectionately after the Wind Waker glitch, super swimming, which for those unfamiliar, similarly it kinda has to do with, you know, perpetually building speed from a small oversight and going back and forth a bit. That gives similarly, like, eye-piercing results. Climbing up a wall. Damn. I think that was a little short. I'm gonna give this one or two more tries. And then, you know, you could toy around with other ideas. there is one that's like right inside the statue room. Damn, yeah, I think that type of jump would be excruciatingly useful there, because with the with the statue room, you're kind of surrounded with collision, so you need to get launched straight up. Because it doesn't seem that you can actually get enough speed to, like, go through walls. Or if you could, you lose speed. You lose your footing off of whatever object is speeding you up before that. I'm just gonna let it keep building, because I was really short the other time. Maybe another minute or two. Yeah, that's true. Well, actually, is that the case? I'm not sure that I've been able to experience that quite. Because usually when you get close to walls, they load, but if you're moving at a high enough speed, you may be right. It seemed to me that when you landed anywhere, you were on the outskirts of out of bounds, so I didn't really think that. Or you hit a cutscene trigger, because I know you got in the hole with those spiders. Damn. I got flung to the right there. Alright, I'm gonna show you. Yeah. There's so many aspects to this where we don't even know fully how the game will react. There is another easily accessible one here. I forget exactly how, but I managed to get stuck on it for like a good couple minutes. It is admittedly a bit tedious to on the Malefor statue. If you mean, I mean, it doesn't really have any slopes like that. Oh, I see what you're saying. You can actually get on top of it, funny enough. This was an old NG Plus strat. It does have steep slopes like this. I thought there was like this large box. Like just a crate somewhere that acted like that. I'll need to just like locate several good objects that work with that. But yeah, I mean, you know, it's very absurdist, but that's kind of part of the fun, I would say. Come on, Malifor, we gotta conquer you. Oh! Oh, you know what? Maybe you can. Although I don't know how you would prevent falling off when it's that steep. I mean, you can stand on this thing, it turns out. It's pretty fucking nifty. I don't know. Twigs below trees. Right. Oh wait, is this? This is a decent candidate, I would think. One of these fuckers I was able to here we go. This is... No? I mean, that's decent still, but... Yeah, anything with a slope works, really. Okay. We're getting somewhere. It's hard not having the speed just whisk you away. I know I was able to get caught on one of these, though. It was so much so that I, like, was clinging along the sides here. And getting pushed upwards, because I didn't have anywhere else for the speed to take me. Maybe it was like this. I mean... yeah. I honestly anticipated it being quite the questionable trade-off of when it might be useful, but... turns out, nah. Nah. There's another decent one before the Fire Dream. And... yo, what's... oh man, Ginge. Alright, we gotta go back. Alright. So... I'll just give you the TLDR. Since I've been laughing about it for so long. We do is we waddle on a pair of mushrooms for 5 minutes. Oh, this is nice. See, both of these, they're like shifting me left and right, and you can start to see the vibing. This should eventually then... See, I like when this happens because you can kind of visually tell a bit more what might be going on. It isn't just a strat either, it's also a form of movement. It's... it's almost like some LSD streak you'd see. Double mushroom slide. Dude, you know, I mean, mushrooms, it all makes sense, because they the LSD thing, but also, you know, mushrooms make you go fast in Mario Kart. It's only transferable logic. Oh man. Okay, so to give a quick explanation of that, so that is what I'm currently dubbing super slipping. It was actually sort of founded by Graphics there in chat. Um,
Spiral.
it had been known that, you know, like, slippery surfaces really go gung-ho to push you off and everything, but being able to get stuck and take advantage of that was not really known before. So apparently, for whatever reason, walking, you get less resistance as opposed to running, and you're able to build up speed, whereas running, I mean, it seems to work somewhat, but certainly not to the same success I've seemed to have with this little waddle. So, like, literally every move in his toolkit now has a use. Really need to angle left. Silo slide. Oh, dude, that is. I think that's the most fucking out there pun I've ever heard, and I make some really rough ones. I might have to go with that, honestly. Okay, I think it's hard because I feel like if you angle too far left, this left mushroom will actually just throw you to the right. See what I mean? Silo slide bin. I feel like that's a little... Okay, it's a little hard for people to know, like, what the hell that actually means. Super... or make sense of that. But I will definitely... I think that's, like, a good pet name for the strat, you know what I'm saying? Oh, man. I thought I had a different name in mind as well, but no, I will write this down. So I haven't quite proven it, but we have overshot reaching the final, like, so for this level, you know how you loop around and then the temple is being raided, and you know it's all orange and flaming and whatever. We've overshot that a few times, because it's actually a completely different part of the level. Excuse me. So, you could essentially do the same kind of skip that's in NG+, but in any percent. And this is like after having known about this for one day. It's... Gosh. It's bringing a lot of implications to the table. And obviously has quite the bit of, you know, barrier to entry possibilities there. So, you know, and also skipping elements, like, it could be some subcategory of any percent or low percent or something funky like that because of that. Ooh. Okay, here we go. We're on the left mushroom, so we can Okay. I got sent down instead of forward. What a shame. I did find a much more awkward, but potentially usable location in Ancient Grove. And it's severely like there's floodgates here that haven't even fully been opened, because every little fucking object could be something. Oh, I need to kill this guy so he doesn't moon battle. That's the plot of Eternal Night. But like, these fucking mushrooms are now, and I should clarify for you, Tia. It's not just mushrooms, it's anything really with a slippery surface. It's just a matter of finding ones that you can actually manage to, like, counteract the push force so that it will keep trying to accumulate speed. There's probably ones you can do that with more so in a TAS than than a human, so that also throws a lot of possibilities up in the air. Man, it's kind of hard to get stuck between these two. There is also this group up here, but you tend to collide with this, which I guess is a slippery surface as well, but you know what, I'll just try and see, because I thought it was resetting my speed because of this oscillation, like whether I'm going up or down, like they're opposite, I'm trying to get launched in Ancient Grove. I can't tell if this is doing anything or not. I'm just gonna keep going, because this one, if it would throw me, it would probably throw me upwards, and there isn't any. I've never encountered a cap to the height of a level before, so that'd be a learning experience. Yeah, it should still exist in A New Beginning. I mean, the mechanics that push you off work the same way, and smaller occurrences of it have been done in the past. So damn. Yeah, see, nothing came of that. They were both back and forth. So, I should probably point out what I actually think this could lead to. Oh, and also kill this guy. Apparently he respawned. Alright, so if you actually go behind the start here, this level loops around. So just right here, this is the Choir Pirates area, right? And then if you go back further, so there's the start of the level again. That kind of swerve around, but here's the rest of that, right? This is where you come back and then get into the jellyfish section. So if you could just like swing yourself back here far enough, you know, you can either platform around out of bounds or just hit a trigger or something of the sort. Oh, also, yeah, these bombs, that's why I was trying to get rid of this fuck. Because these don't respawn unless you reload the level. So you have to be aware of that. Oh, they're pretty decent just on their own, I guess, huh? Because they have, like, tiny push force. Hmm. So if you could just vibe in place on this for... I don't know. Was there another one? I think there were a few, because there's... Oh! Sorry, this is all coming back to me because I did this at 5 AM. Yeah, these guys work pretty decently. Yeah, it doesn't take much psychedelics to make shit happen. Alright, these. So this is actually like, look at this three-way cluster, bro. I think I was trying to actually work with just two of them. Let's just see where this leads. Oh, man. It really is. It's kind of neat as well, like, just with all the testing, how strangely chill it is, because you have this little period of downtime. Ooh! That's what I'm talking about, dude. That sent me back the way I needed to go, too. So, like, that seems probable. At least to me. I tend to think a lot of things are probable. Wait, can you... Okay. Slippery. You do have to deal with the, you know, these guys so they don't hit you. Apparently they respawn, so that's annoying. But, you know... There's a lot of variation involved that I feel like that's going to be the hardest part, is figuring out if there's a way to remove those little niche cases and little interruptions. Angle this a little more harshly. Maybe go upwards. Yeah. There will both be a feel and also the fact you don't think angle helps. Well, I think it might, just because of like what you collide with whenever your speed goes off. Depending on the pocket, you know, trying to angle may worsen things. So you do have a point. I'm kind of scared by the fact that I'm still in here. Like, we really need one of those, like, something that can read Spyro's speed directly, like with Mario 64. Starts to slip. Thing is, he keeps being just, like, content right where he is. We're actually just going to become a fucking light particle in a moment. Unless it's possible that Spyro just isn't actually touching any of the mushrooms. Oh, I think I saw him shift slightly, or maybe that's just the sway of the mushrooms. Besides. Oh, dude, that's so stupid and painful. He just got, like, stuck against the wall.
Remember my training.
So you really have to get, like, a particular angle, I think, if you want this to work. Yeah, you'd like need to glide. That, I mean, it's still cool to see that that was fucking possible. Miserable little worm. There we go. We're gonna go real obtuse on the angle. Oh, crystals, I feel like they'd probably have either too steep or... Like, I feel like they're more blocky than they are sloped. I'll try jumping on one soon enough, though. I give this thing 2 minutes. Or actually... Yeah. Damn. Okay, you know what? This is starting to seem real. That did go, like... The angling is working, because I don't think the mushrooms are... I don't know, they're just very cooperative. This little set. Backwards. It depends. See, I think it has to do with, like, where you hit the mushroom from. So what I'm doing is I'm jumping on the small one in front first, and it's pushing me forward. Whereas if you are, like, just on one or something, then it's going to be backwards. Like, it depends on the type of slope that you're on. Micro-dosing? Wait, what do you mean? Oh, micro-dosing. Sorry, I'm stupid. True. Alright, here we go. Well, that might hit the tree. Oh no, it worked before. Thankfully, there's also, like, you can count tail swipes and shit. There will be decent ways to measure this out. Jeez. Oh my god. Okay, so this does seem like, through enough trial and error, and glide. Yeah, I was trying to glide. I had too much speed, was the problem. I guess I should just leave it holding X or whatever. Is that what you're thinking? I don't think this is gonna hold. In all for I'll just mash X, actually. Oh my god. You were right. That's insane. I don't actually know if I touched the invisible wall there or not. I just mashed jump. Yeah, no, there... Dude, there wasn't an invisible wall there. What? Oh my fucking god.
I'm sure you'll get it this time.
Guys. So... I think that for an extended period of time, or at least an extended distance, right? Spyro is still considered grounded. From the launch. Because, you know, you're touching the... what I don't fucking know. I'm trying to make sense of this. I'm giving the best descriptions that I can. That, like, at least sound like correct theories. I'm not sure I can say something with 100% confidence about that. Fuck. Yeah, I know you had said that, although I think we were under the impression before that you needed a wall in the way. I wasn't sure if the edge of this was a wall or not. Oh. Damn. I'm getting whiplash from this dude. I already thought this was messed up, but I guess you can also jump out of it like that, because why not? This particular one also feels like an eventuality to me. Like the other, I have a bit of doubts now about the one for the beginning level, the temple. But man. See, then I'm hitting the front mushroom, and it's changing the speed to be from that slippery slope. So this is definitely a fucky one, fellas. Fucky fungi. Fucky fungi make you fly. Fungi flying. I wasn't even paying attention. Oh man. I'll give this 1 or 2 more tries, and then maybe, you know what, we'll boot up a new beginning, because I feel like anything in that game could prove to be something, like, if we just find one instance of it, because, like, with Eternal Night, you know, the levels are a lot more, they're a lot more thin. They're kind of corridor-like. You have a lot more tech already that lets you get by a lot of shit. Might send me up to the left. Actually, I think only the forward angle is useful. Oh, you know what's gonna be rough with this is actually having enough height, because you'll be like right over the death plane from this launch. That might not be enough height to actually get on, okay, sure. Not quite what I was anticipating. I guess I can... I don't know how I would stay on that for too long. But yeah, you might have to like wrap around the whole way. Yeah, I know way too many dumb... Darn, I really wanted that to work. It's cool getting to show off some of this movement too. Oh, those? No, you can stand on those normally. Same with these. Are you joking? Is this real? Hold on. There might have just been a fucking out of bounds set. Okay. Dude, I'm going mad. I'm going mad seeing all the fucking crap still in this game. Actually, just a free sussy out of bounds. Okay, these guys getting on my nerves. Yeah, this might actually be like a free out of bounds in some way. Although the collision in this area is very shit. Hold on, where did I jump to? Can these... Get out of here, Zenny. Zenny. I may need one of those fucks, though. These aren't... Well... Okay, this is a little less hype. I might have also destroyed... What the hell? Where did I jump to, though? I'm actually so confused. But in... Where was it? And do I need to fucking die to bring this all back to the realm of possibility? So what I was trying to say earlier was that, to be fair...
Here we go.
Okay, there we go. The collision in this area is very stingy. Oh my god. Just to the right. I hate these bug things, bro. So get rid of that, because that is severely cramping my style. I was so close to destroying that little nest. Ah! These things get right up your ass, but I need them to be near me to do the jump. So get rid of that. Okay. Yeah, I think I have to get rid of these guys. Much as it pains me. Maybe some dragon time is in order. I must have jumped hard to the right. I feel like that's the kind of thing that, yeah, we'll have to use dragon time to, outrun the fucks. And then we'll just kind of loop them. What? Yep, you guys were right. It's like there's multiple invisible walls here. There it is. What? No? So I jumped. I think I'm like on the actual wall itself. Normally, you know, there's at least a thin little line where you can kind of tell that, hey, I'm out of bounds. And not inbounds. But this, like, has so many just little pieces of rock. Oh. Oh my god. Fucking... yeah, increased collisions or something. You do get high enough there to be like... maybe you could comet dash over. Hold on, I will try your idea. It would also help with control, come to think of it. That's the other thing, is that Dragon Time still has use in the speedrun for, like, making certain cycles possible and having better control. Yeah, you're inside the little rock clumps here. So does that mean I can just kind of, like, jump up this? Okay. Here we go. Now we're in real territory. Fucking king land up here. That's the worst name for that, but I mean, hey, Warfang. Oh man. Alright, here we go, guys. Are you serious? Wow. Wait, can you just... Hold on. I'm gonna be pissed if this is real. Okay, that's a slippery slope, it turns out. Oh, ate my double jump. This is the fucking process, guys. Ooh. Save states would be incredibly useful if only... Wow. It was right there the whole time. They even color-coded it for me. How genuinely impeccable. Just this game, man. It sure as fuck exists the way it does. I'm curious as hell why there's still, like, invisible wall this high up. I'm just on literal level collision, unfortunately. Like, there's an extra layer here. This is cool as hell, though. At minimum, you can flex on the fucky hedgehogs. Or I guess they're warthogs, rather. Yeah, I feel like you'd really need to be able to target an enemy up here to make use of this. Yeah, that ain't doing anything for us. I know the walls are really tall around this waterfall too. Actually kind of has a nice volcano look to it from here. Wow. Something's brewing. Something is surely brewing. So many stupid little collisions, so many... Alright, I'll try the, Dragon Time thing for a moment. Just to clear my brain from that. Oh! I wanted the ledge grab. Oh. That must be remnants from these guys. But I should probably get a little more still. Yeah, this little winding hallway is like just kind of shit. It's actually just like a simple, clean little triple jump. Well, mostly clean. It does take some spacing. Maybe a little bit of extra height. But maybe I speak too soon. This is like a new beginning style skip. Or out of bounds. Pretty nifty. Okay, I'm gonna go off of this. I did say I was gonna do the other thing, but this has my attention, man. Okay. Need to angle myself better. There we go. Up, up, up the mountain. Mountain your mom. Would this work better than... How far can we go on this? Yeah, so this is just only collides on the one side, essentially. This place is encased. Can I at least, like... I don't get it, man. You'd think I could, like, get around onto this crag, or something like that, but it ain't letting up. Certainly not as simply as this has, anyway. Yeah. I don't know. Definitely worth toying with, though. That provides some brain food for me. Alright. Let's see... Oh, right. Oopsie daisy. If, Is this a thing? Hold on. Probably not. After this little escapade with Grove is over, I think I'll see if I can find anything in a new beginning, and then perhaps call it a night. I don't know. I mean, I do like the momentum I've had, but of course, you know, this is going to become a lot of trial and error, and I don't know how much that would help, or how much interest people would have for that anyway. You're thinking it would help build speed. I mean, I feel like there's too many factors going on at once to be able to tell what is accomplishing what. It certainly will at least give us better control. Maybe I should do it for the one back on Temple. You know what? Maybe. No.
Why don't you try shooting some?
Cause I didn't cover as much distance. Like, I still traveled the same distance, I think, but you know, from the invisible walls kind of stopping us earlier, I don't feel like that was too much different than I might expect, judging from previous goes, but I don't know. still definitely worth consideration. Oh. Yeah. We just need to know more about the tech itself first. Also, now we're going to get to do this out of bounds with more lads involved. Can these guys... Oh man. They're gunning for me. That's convenient. Did I hit a little ledge there? No, it's just the camera being shit. It really is just that ledge. Or just that rock. Slate, I guess, is an accurate term. Okay. I think I'm shortening my my strafe jump a little too much. There it is. No targets, bruh. Okay. Bro! Like, I can see the oh my god. Sorry, this just is kind of unprecedented and a little frustrating. Considering how these... Like normally, once you pop out of bounds, you have all of out of bounds. It's kind of a very binary thing like that. I mean, obviously, you still have to work around, stage, you know, size and collisions and what have you, but... I'm gonna give this a few more tries and then switch to a new beginning. And then probably head off, although considering all the leads we've found, it's quite possible this may still go for another hour or two. Yeah. Alright. I'll mess with that later. Let's see if we can ruin a new beginning in a few minutes. Shut this down. Oh my god. Oh man. As if I wasn't overwhelmed enough times today. Oops. This is what I need. Ooh, sorry about that. Oh, yeah. That dodge mechanic. It's really weird, because it's not even, it's not even present in the Wii version of Eternal Night. And they only really touch on it briefly in New Beginning. And don't really make too much of use for it. It's honestly... Hold on, my controllers. Okay, there we go. Oh wait, that's... gone. Kinda wild. It just kinda hit me how many different forms of like fucking new okay, like how often is it that any speed game gets to say, oh hey, new, you know, universally shaping movement tech, especially since I'd been messing around with these forever. You guys just like really like just this whole situation has just inspired me so much. I mean, there aren't too many places to go in Swamp. We'll just load what fucking saves we have and see what we stumble across. I feel like, oh hey Mar. You join, closer to the close of the stream. I'm hoping to do something similar to this. I'd like to have a 15th anniversary stream. I don't know. It's gonna be weird. Is this the favorite for all of TLOS? I don't blame you, bro. This is definitely, like, atmospheric-wise, and, like, it has some decent mix-up in terms of the variety of gameplay. All the theming is there. The music, of course. Can't complain too much. But I hope you're doing well, man. I'm still gonna be going for a little bit here. Sorry, I may have been getting ahead of myself. Yeah, how have you been, bro? I know been a little bit of a... Oh, okay, right. Back and forth with just like certain funky things. Okay, so there you go. There's proof. It does exist in New Beginning, but the slippery shit is borked. No, borked, not horked. Surprised how little you can get out of bounds here. So, oh gosh. Oh right, you had mentioned about crystals. Okay. We almost got slung up if it weren't for touching the tip of that. Oh, yeah. No, I'd imagine that, like, I mean, that's a lot to take up on top of everything that you already naturally do. I am going to need to, I want to step up in some way there. I also want to kill this guy without destroying the crystals. Eye roll. Because the Valley Girl gives him an eye roll. Oh my god. It turns out crystals are the best thing ever. Okay, so that's very good to know. If you hit a glide against a wall when you have speed, then it will push you up. But if you're just in your typical stance... Yeah, basically a new tech was found in these games that essentially allows you to just conserve speed, from slippery surfaces trying to push you off. Almost... I wouldn't say indefinitely, but for a pretty extended period of time. Which normally you were only able to get like a little bit of something off of them, but you just found like different ways to approach it that kind of change the extent to which that can happen. Yes, it's basically Legend of Spyro BLJs in a sense. I just got on a new beginning graphics, so I didn't find anything, but I did prove to the camera. I almost like to think of it... I mean, super swimming kind of functions in a similar way. I'm calling it super slipping at the moment. But, since mushrooms tended to be the ones to work with best, they were, maybe a name with that can work. It's like fungi flying or something. Yeah, I didn't really expect crystals to work as well as that one just did. If you can, like, keep redirecting yourself, these might actually be S tier. Damn. Not the best angle that could have had. They do kind of get hard stopped by walls. Kind of just reacting to however slip. Yes. I normally go to bed pretty late. Here, I'll turn off the light. I didn't realize I was bothering you. Oh. Sorry, guys. It does look promising, honestly. I would not have thought that crystals... like, something with that kind of jagged and, uncompromising of shape. Yeah, if you have enough speed, then walls can be climbed. Which definitely... I know these you can slip on a little bit. That's decent. I'm not sure what you could do with this, though, because you need to, like, get height to really skip things in a new beginning, from my recollection. Oh my god, the training area? The training area in this game, it should have the same or similar kind of little routes. Oh, really? It makes sense. There are plenty of little treetops and stuff like this to tool with, or just like coincidentally trip over. That really, shit, I'm gonna get rid of this guy. Spell killer. Hey, no problem, Skunk. I had a really fun time tonight, and once again, I'm absolutely grateful that you've joined me and chose to watch tonight. I do want to point out, since you're going, I am going to be gone for a week visiting my parents. I won't have my PC, so unfortunately I won't be able to get to broadcast any more of this for a minute. But hey, we'll be we'll be messing with this for quite some time, don't worry. But for now, take care, I suppose. Don't know what else I could say on that front. I'm thinking, the gate, where you have to hit the 3 buttons, could also be a decent place to skip. Dude, what if... Okay, I got the craziest idea. What if you can skip the ship? Could you imagine? Oh yeah, true. It is it is one of the best parts. There's so many enemies. Could you slip on here though? Hmm. These crystals are honestly putting in work. Okay, that was weird. I think I still had speed tapering off. Hmm. If I can get it from up high, I think that's most preferable. Oh, that's funky. I don't think I want this guy alive. You just stand on this normally, or... I guess you can. Huh. Here we go. Right in the center of everything. it's extremely satisfying to have something this level from Eternal Night. Like, right now, I honestly feel like A New Beginning could be almost on par if you can really make shit with this work. Damn. I tried to glide. That is promising, though. Yeah. It's just, like, hard to get the actual, like, control that you need. Yo, CD-ROM. Oh my god. You join at a crude bit of time, yeah. We kind of gotten to screw around a bit with it, in Eternal Night already. But we're learning more opportunities for A New Beginning, for sure. Ooh! Oh, there you go. I slipped along the wall like you were saying. I bounce off. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it is the same type of tech, although there was an out of bounds. There were a few things with Eternal Night. Try bouncing. Yeah, you could say that. Slipping much faster than one would ever anticipate. Like, oh god. I've been calling it super slipping because it honestly kind of has the same result as like super swimming in Wind Waker. I'm almost reminded of sorry, I laughed because it's almost like whenever a fucking cartoon character gets flung into the other room by a banana peel. Damn. And this is only... Oh. Oh, god. And you could have different collisions based on how many times you hit these. It isn't just crystals either, just anything with a slippery slope that you can... You have to, like, go against it gradually. And you are able to, like, redirect or interrupt with certain moves, so that's pretty nifty. You know, as with any movement tech, it has a wider implication to A New Beginning if we can find something to use it on. But, we already have like 2 or 3 big, possibilities lined up for Eternal Night to add into an 80% route or something. Alright, you know what? Alright. We'll try 1 or 2 more crystal setups. And then I'll see if we can find something funky for the ship area. I'm trying to glide so that, like, the wall would actually send me up. I don't think it's gonna do that. Very poignant of you to mention these crystals, honestly. Gosh. I'm actually like... My cheeks are in a state of feeling like so loose and... Like, it's just... I'm so fucking happy from tonight, man. It really invigorated me. And I just felt... Okay. Felt like I was bringing a lot to the table, both for these games and the people that care about them. And, of course, having people that are of mutual.
It's okay. We can try again.
So it does have some potential for major skips. Thing is, like, there's so many slopes that all kind of like work differently and would have to be like tested for their angles and where you would end up being sent, that it's really hard for me to, you know, say with totality what all may come from this. But there's already the possibility of skipping the entire temple section on the bar for Eternal Night, which could mean beating the game without fire. There's the possibility of skipping the entire Grove Pirates encounter, where you have to get the cannonball to break a tree wall. So I mean, that's like 25 minutes worth right there. Although, you know, there is a bit of trade-off if losing the fire element was on the table. And you may need some weird workarounds for other things. As far as a new beginning, I mean, I just switched to it by the time you came in. So I haven't truly gotten to see, but I mean, I feel like... Oh gosh. Damn. I feel like there's gotta be something or other in here. I also realized that these... Like, any stupid little piece of debris in the game is now, like, a breeding ground for potential skips. This looks like exactly what I wanted. Yeah. That's exactly what I was getting at with low percent graphics. Oh, here we go. Darn. I tried to redirect that. Alright, I'm gonna get past this gate. Right, it's up here. And then see if there's anything, because it would be really funny if you could just So there's a long... I think... I know you said you hadn't finished Eternal Night, but maybe you're more familiar with New Beginning, since you said you were playing through this level and everything. If you could skip the entire, like, ship battle arena bit, like, that would be huge, and also incredibly difficult and funny. I think technically this means that now these games also have the highest locked speed. Dawn was taking that cake for a while. Since that game also kind of has ways to launch. Not quite like this. Nice.
The shrine god has not been appeased since Cinder.
Nothing much to work with there. I don't want to trigger the save prompt here. Man. This might be the only thing.
Now you tell me.
Oh, actually it doesn't matter. The save prompt. Because, I was gonna delete this file anyway. Oh, okay. This fence. You'd think this is just something you could stand on, but... Nope. You know what? I think the top of the ship... Yeah. The top of the ship should have something of note. I don't remember... I might have to triple jump up there, though. Yeah, see, I feel like this is, like, a place where one might naturally run into... Yeah. Oh, hey, there's a real platform there. They're really good. This fence. Oh. Yeah, if you can line up with them, right? This would send me backwards, though. Ah. Damn. I was actually thinking... up on this, you can kind of get on. Try different ones. Alright. Are you... I mean, are you aiming, like, where... Like, so that Spyro is... like, to the pole? That it's upright, or... he's perpendicular? You really have to, like, pinpoint yourself so that you're on the top of them, but... This one seems pretty freaking good. Hopefully I don't collide with the dumb blocks right there. And I feel like I can just safely build up the speed. Ah, man. Between posts. Okay, so kind of like this. Let's go! A new beginning. What a launch, dude. Dude, there's been like one time, two times in my entire life where you could actually like fall and die. And not die. Oh my god. This is real. So, since CD-ROM was asking, that seems like a possibility. That seems quite real. Oh my god. Alright. Now to look at, going out of bounds in training rooms, and then probably get off for the night. Okay, Cole, I get it. This early section did seem like you could maybe skip around something, so maybe if I hit the wall well enough. Oh, never mind. I don't know why this stupid little crawl just like maintains your position. Yeah. With how, like, more spacious the levels are. And, you know, how unmatched it is. A New Beginning definitely... Because like, A New Beginning, like I've said, it's just had less room for anything to come of it. Oops. Speedrun wise, so. I Plus, A New Beginning might have more debris in, or more usable debris, I feel like, than Eternal Night. Yeah. It definitely is a little bit more of a slog. You do have all those, extra, like, auto-scroller type levels. Oh, this you can just stand on naturally. Nah. Oh, I do need to dupe the file.
Hey, that's cheap.
Any slipping in here wouldn't really put you anywhere, unfortunately. Although, look, they knew. They made the shrine to him. Aw, man. Okay, my energy's tapering off, but I am still going to at least pursue to the temple, I think.
You know, this is getting...
Alright. Unhod the mighty flameless. Unleash it. But I do want to say that it has been an incredible, yeah, it has been an incredible evening, and I feel very blessed, you know, to come across this and to meet you, of course. I don't know how, you know, obviously we've only just met each other and everything. But even just kind of like, you know, working on the logical streaks one takes with this, like trying to parse this out. It's been really fun and cooperative. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. I wanted to say something a little more heartfelt, but I'm not sure if I can muster it. Oh. I think the batteries in this are getting really low.
So hard as it was.
Now here's where it starts to get interesting. So we get like tall tidbits like these. Oh my god. You can't be serious. Why does it let me vibe on the very edge of this? And why did I get this first fucking try? Unreal, man. Out of bounds ahoy. Of course, that was like a very specific lip of this, so I mean, I may have just lucked out, honestly. Okay. Or maybe not. This is indeed a big tree, bro. Big tree, big win. It's also this little thing. Although I think it kind of do a tree bounce here. What does that... What is a tree bounce exactly? I know you mentioned it before, but I'm not sure I understand. Big tree bounce, big tree bell. I like where this is going. I keep thinking of the one where you re-angle yourself. What, do I fling myself back onto the thing itself? Oh, okay, that makes sense. Wish I thought of that. No, I don't actually know. Oh, also, getting hit will unleash the speed. You have to unlock the speed demon inside of you, SpongeBob. Who'd have thought a game as stiff as this could have this kind of tech, bro? Getting lower. The other tree? You mean this? Oh, like hitting off of it. Yeah, not really anyway.
Spyro, so me and the old man were chatting.
Yeah, cause it's sloped up. I see. Yeah, I really want to get one of the ones that will give you decent height, cause height is a lot harder to come by. Like, even just like here, getting height would be huge. But of course, there's all these fucking apes in the way. So maybe you can like leave him over here.
Ready?
That's the other thing. I can blow that shit up. Hopefully that's all I'll need. If this was sitting directly against the wall, this would be really good. Then you could just walk forward on it forever. This seems to work though. Right on the top corner of it. Aw, damn it. Alright. Oh man. Controller, please hold out. These ones with the little twirls seem to have nice catches on them. They don't have too much push force. Oh, I don't know what happens if I get hit and die during this. Probably just instantly stopped, but darn. Yeah. So many freaking long-winded fights. It's a very combat-centric run, even as it is now. It looked like that was the most minimal speed return thus far. Alright, I'm gonna get past this fight. Bruh. Didn't want to spawn anybody. We do have a few pieces of potential there. I really think the fences, oddly enough, like, you really think that... Because I couldn't stand on them for more than, like, half a second at a time, ever. In any of my interactions with them before, they were, like, typically instant death sentences, so... They're very risky in that sense. But I love them. Oh man, I didn't really want to do that, just because I like it. I like the little dude. The little, oh my god. Neat seeing the gem effect though. Didn't realize the light actually kind of shimmered. And then I mean this. Come on. Yeah. There ain't gonna be anything really worth in here. I think I might have taken the batteries out of the other controller too. Man, I don't want to go and hunt up new batteries. It already turned off again.
For many years we fought all over the islands. Brutal clashes with the armies of the Dark Master was intent on preventing the prophecies
Well,
from coming true.
yeah, my roommate's trying to sleep. so I'm not gonna turn on the light and
Small but valiant
look around.
forces into battle,
I think,
battle against our ruthless
yeah,
mercenary
I think I ought to call it there. But yeah, no, it is
were beginning to
absolutely immaculate. Everyone always talks about the potential and all the, you know, hidden little things
is monstrous.
within the Legend of Spyro games. And how
Dragon that fills the
I'm finishing up.
an unstoppable force of
Can I, like, give the stream a send-off?
Listen, sounds like that thing that was chasing us,
Sorry.
Spyro.
She's still so
Anyway,
and years ago I watched as Cinder plucked the other guardians from the fields of battle.
yeah, no, it's been sweet. This has been absolutely emblematic, I think, of
Cause is lost.
all of those things that people echo and believe in.
Managed to escape. Not that it matters.
This video looking a little
I sit here wondering what might have
pixely like my stream.
else I might have done.
But yeah, no, it's been wonderful. Ignitus can't even get to finish explaining the lore. Yeah, you can feel free to post clips. I will probably put one as well. I've gone through so many ups and downs with this series, but this is definitely one of the highest ups. I'm feeling incredibly excited for the potency there is here. And with that, I'll leave the excitement to boil. Thanks for thanks again.